nuclear weapons program. A United Nations report says Pyongyang has accumulated about $2 billion through cyber attacks to generate income for weapons of mass destruction. The report says Kim Jong-un's government has coordinated about 35 sophisticated cyber attacks to steal money from banks and cryptocurrency exchanges. The report goes on to say that North Korea uses cyberspace to launder money and also violates international sanctions with ship-to-ship transfer of goods. The report has been released a few hours after North Korea tested more missiles. And leader Kim Jong-un declared the latest launches an adequate warning to the US and South Korea, who are scheduled to stage joint military drills this month. According to state media, Kim made the statement during a test to confirm the war capacity of a new type of tactical guided missile. It was the fourth launch in under 2 weeks. But for more on this, I'm joined by Philip Ingram, who's a former intelligence officer and security expert, joining me from Birmingham. Thank you very much for joining us here on TRT World. So, as we said, the leaked report says North Korea has stolen $2 billion to fund its weapons program using cyber attacks. What do you make of it, first of all?
I find it quite interesting. North Korea has been blamed for a number of different cyber attacks, but we've got a country here that doesn't send people to international universities, doesn't have access to the internet, doesn't have a strong access to academia out in the rest of the world. So how are they training these cyber experts and how are they getting them to go out and carry out sophisticated attacks against highly protected cryptocurrencies and banks? This is really worrying.
So, though, if this is true, does this show that the sanctions are actually working?
Well, it doesn't. It shows that they're managing to get around the sanctions. And North Korea doesn't need this money for its internal market. It needs the money to buy things from outside. So that means that other people are breaking the sanctions. And the UN report says it's to fund weapons of mass destruction, and I presume in particular North Korea's nuclear ambition. You can't go out and buy on the open market materials that can be put into nuclear weapons. There are very few countries that will sell those. So there must be some countries out there or some organisations that are breaking the sanctions to supply those capabilities into North Korea if they're supplied with hard cash. That in itself is even more worrying.
So, Philip, this is a leaked report from the UN. So what do you make, though, of the evidence where it comes from?
Well, the UN will have taken evidence from a number of different sources. Its members, it will have the P5 members, so USA, UK, France, will have contributed to it. Russia and China will have had visibility of it. There are only 2 internet pipes into North Korea, one which is relatively small, that's provided by China, and the other that is quite a large pipe that was only put in the last 2 years, or 2.5 years, was put in by a Russian state-owned company that's there. So the visibility of North Korea's cyber capability is well known. Their ability to be able to get money and use that money for sanctions-busting activities is really of great concern.
Well, we do have to wrap it up here, but thank you very much for that, Philip Ingram.